How about this number? Biggest year over year offensive efficiency decreases in the SEC. Let me say that again. So that means your offense is regressing, right? Going backwards. Because it's all about red zone, defense, or offensive scoring efficiency, okay? So biggest year over year offensive efficiency decreases in the SEC. Oklahoma minus 58.4% year to year. Minus 58.4%. LSU minus 52%. Little deceiving because of Jaden Daniels last year, because I think Garrett Nussmeier's played well. Now, they haven't had a running game. They did show one last week with Caden Lee, whatever his name is, healthy. Kentucky, this shouldn't surprise you, minus 40, let's just say round up, is 49.7, minus 50%. A&M, minus 18.8%. Wigman got knocked out early. Now he's back. Not too bad with a Marcel Reed, Connor Wigman back and forth, okay? Georgia, they lost two big-time skill people, one of them by the name of Brock Bowers, minus 18.7%. You can withstand that. Let's go back to the top again. Oklahoma, minus 58.4%. Year-to-year offensive efficiency decrease. LSU minus 52, Kentucky minus 50. Keep that in mind. Oh, I got something else for you. Biggest year-over-year defensive efficiency improvements. Texas, plus 98%. Ole Miss, plus 93%. Their offense has regressed. Okay. It's not their defense. Golding's had one hell of a year. They haven't played prolific offenses, but the bottom line is you play who you play, and they have been good. All right? I just went over two of them, right? Kentucky and LSU.
Right.
Defense. Ole Miss is plus 93% year over year. So you're getting that ROI from Golding.
Big time.
Tennessee, plus 82%. Kentucky, Brad White, defensive coordinator, plus 38%. Arkansas with their new dude, plus 30%. I don't know if Pittman's going to hang on. If he loses this weekend to Mississippi State, it could get tight. But they're not good, but they've done some good things considering now, one thing they do is they play hard.
Yeah.
Under Sam Pittman, they play hard. They will fight, scrap, play, Are they better than Mississippi State? Yes. Can Mississippi State win the game? Absolutely. So just some numbers that I thought you would think were pretty good. Let's see what else Adam posted today. I thought the Big Ten, some of you thinking about the college football playoff and your team getting there, I want to throw this out at you. Top 5 most efficient Big Ten offenses. Because some of your teams are going to pull these teams in the playoff. Possibly. Indiana, 46% above average. Kurt Cignetti, will you bring up that audio where he tells everybody to Google him? Is a freak. 46% above average. Buckeyes, 43% above average. Oregon, 33% above. And guess who's finally playing offense for the first time in 6 years? Penn State, 32% above average. This is Kurt Cignetti, Indiana's head coach. They'll be hosting game day. This is Kurt talking about how awesome he is.
Sell your vision of your culture. I mean, what's the...
Who are you talking about? The high school guys, the transfers? Who?
All of the above. I mean, how do you... Is there a...
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
We've had good audio over the years. That's top 5. I win. Google me. I want you to walk in the next time you're in an interview with someone and say that. Yeah. I mean, do it. Because you'll have some, corporate muckety muck across from you. And you need to say, do that one more time, Jackson. Our audio today is brought to you by Superior Foundation. If you need French drains, they're powered by Superior Foundation. All right, obviously foundation repair. But if you need French drains, they're powered by Superior Foundation. Family owned. They're here local. Superior.ms. Jackson.
I mean, what's the
Who are you talking about? The high school guys, the transfers? Who?
all of the above? I mean, how do you? Is there?
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
Jackson Meadows, what do you think about that?
It's to me, it's a necessity. You got to have that.
It's a necessity.
It's a necessity. Same way with I need my quarterback to believe that he is the best player on the field
I agree.
at all times.
I agree.
So I got to have that out of a head coach. If it just goes back to if he doesn't think he can win, why in the world would I believe he can win? If he knows he can win, well, hey, I mean, I can hop on that. So I understand he's 63.
Yeah, but
what is 63?
this day and age, if you take care of yourself,
He's got what, 10, 12?
I mean, you're 53.
Right. I mean, he can go another 10 or 12 years.
So
Does he get plucked?
I don't know because of what you just hit on. ADs want, the young, height guy, whatever. I mean, Barry Odom's at UNLV, Kurt Signetti's at Indiana, and all they'll do when you put the ball down is beat you. And they win above talent. Most coaches don't. They win above. Don't ever forget that is the main thing. They win above talent. If you can do that, you can keep your fan base happy.
Yeah. Just win some games you're not supposed to win.
Right. Win above talent. 3 words. Win above talent. Say it today. You'll sound smart around the grill in the neighborhood. We're live in the Bank Plus studio, out of bounds, ESPN 105 National, 105.9 The Zone. I was about to say, it's National Nut Day. And so almonds, peanuts, pistachios. You like any of those?
Oh, I love those.
Okay.
I love them all. I love all kind of nuts. They're
I do
great.
too, man. I mean, when you get the right get together and they throw out high quality app spreads,
Man.
that's got to be there. Of course, I'm a big raw almonds in the middle console.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Got to have it.
Almonds are phenomenal.
Pistachios
That's
are
what I say.
amazing.
Pistachios are probably top of that list, right?
Boiled peanuts and salted peanuts.
I do love pulled peanuts.
There's something about cracking the shell. Boom, you pour an ice cold Budweiser or an ice cold Key City, Mississippi Queen.
Man,
And you got some peanuts right there and the game's coming on.
that's nice.
I know.
Man, boiled peanuts hold a very special place in my heart.
No doubt.
I think majority of people down here, right? Because that was a ballpark staple, wasn't it? When you're playing coach pitch and kid pitch, that's a ballpark staple.
No question.
So, I mean,
Almonds, walnuts, pistachios. What else do we have here? Macadamia?
Ooh. Pistachios are number 1 on that list, though,
Peanuts. Number 1 on this list.
Right? For you.
Oh, well, peanuts or pistachios.
Okay.
And then almonds. Those are my top 3.
Peanuts above almonds.
Mike Detillier, WWL Radio, TV New Orleans, coming up next. Derrick Henry averaged 11.3 yards per carry. That really is Superman type stuff. Jackson and I were talking about it earlier. That's not even video game stuff. That's make believe. In the NFL, I mean, you see that in high school football, right? The discrepancy in talent. I mean, some of those guys out there can't even tie their shoes. So you get a big time player out there. He's making people, miss, wiggle and shift and juke and all that. But in the NFL, against Todd Bowles, what are we doing? We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by the amazing breakfast biscuits and blue plates at Fleetway Market and the Market Cafe in Gluckstadt. Fleetway Market and the Market Cafe in Gluckstadt. They've got grab-and-go breakfast biscuits every morning. They have blue plates. They've got grab-and-go for lunch. There's over 22 Fleetway markets in the state of Mississippi. Fuel up, cold beer, great food, all at Fleetway Market. We want to welcome in Mike Detillier. WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike D joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Mike D, I know the Saints are down Derek Carr and having to play Spencer Rattler, and there's a lot of other things going on, but how painful was it for Saints fans for Sean Payton to come in last Thursday night and take their manhood and run them out of their own stadium?
Yeah, it was an embarrassing effort by the Saints all across the board. And so it didn't surprise me that Denver would come in and do what they did. This team lacks energy, lacks focus, got injuries, all of the above, check mark, check mark, check mark. And if Denver had anything of a quarterback, the score would have been worse. I had 5 times Bo Nix wide open receivers of 12 yards or more, and he missed them. On the first drive you watch, he's got 2 wide open receivers. He throws the ball in between both of them. The ball just harmlessly goes in between them both. No, that's the one thing I disagree with Sean vehemently about. To compare Bo Nix to Drew Brees, it ain't no way. I know he's a rookie and all, but that comparison is way out of the realm. Bo can move around, and he gives you a guy that's who's smart. I think most of the time is efficient. He certainly can move around and do something there. But Bo, they winning with their defense, and that's surprising. That's really what Sean has hung his hat on this year, because he knows it's the strength of the team. Most people, other than Patrick Surtain, they couldn't tell you another guy on defense for the Broncos. And look how good they play. Vance Joseph, who's another Louisiana guy, played on the West Bank and is the defensive coordinator there, former head coach in the NFL. He's done a fabulous job there. So for Saints fans, it's understanding that this team has gotten old in critical spots and with critical players, and you don't have any play. You have very few playmakers. I want to say any, but you have very few.
Mike Detillier on the Out of Bounds Show. The Saints travel to Los Angeles to play the Chargers, 3:05 on Fox on Sunday. They're 2-5. And okay, so is this thing going to just play out and Dennis Allen will be let go at the end of the year, Mike D?
Yeah, I mean, if you fire a coach now, what does that do to your team? You're not giving them any kind of lift. You placating the fans,
right?
And then that's not also what Gail Benson has done, throughout her tenure as an owner. If it didn't matter if it's with the Pelicans or if it's with the Saints, she's gonna wait it out and do that dismissal after the season. And it'll be interesting to see what else happens, because I think there's some structural changes here with the Saints that have to be looked at. You didn't get to this point just because of the head coach. I think Dennis Allen's a very good defensive coach. But sometimes guys aren't made for the big room, okay? And you got to find the right individual. But, Bo, would you say this team lacks talent? All I know is Dennis Allen's not going to scout college players.
Right.
That falls into the lap of Jeff Ireland, who's lived off that 2017 draft. You've had very few guys that have really been impact players since 2017. Can't live off of one draft class. Again, there's some structural changes that needs to be done with this organization to get it right. And it's not a quick rebuild.
Ooh. All right. So we know Mickey Loomis he's basically untouchable because of his relationship with Miss Benson, and he's an executor and all that. So you think that there could be, outside of him, there could be some front office changes, and then Dennis Allen will be let go, and who knows if they'll go offense or defense, right? Specialized coach, Mike D?
I would lean more toward the offensive side.
Okay.
I think today you can go out and find a good defensive coordinator. I would lean toward the offensive coach to go after. And it's all about development of talent. And at the most critical position, it would be the development of talent at quarterback. I think that, to me, is the most critical part of when you piecing it together. The Bill Belichick stuff, man, the Patriots are in the spot they in because of one guy today, Bill Belichick. He's horrible drafting players. He's overridden scouts, the director of player personnel, on many, many decisions. That's not a secret. You want him taking over a team? That's why I never believed this stuff about him going to Cowboys, because he wants full control.
Right.
He wants control of personnel. I've never believed that story. You can be close or maybe a drinking buddy or pals or with an owner. That doesn't mean he's going to hire you. I thought his one shot last year was with the Falcons. And Arthur Blank was warned, be careful with him. He's going to tell you everything you want to hear, but then he wants control. Why would you give Belichick control? After what you've seen the last 5 years with the Patriots, why would you give him full control of personnel when you know damn well he can't draft players very well? That's not his forte. And he doesn't trust the people around him. And just look at his his assistant coaching staff. I mean, that's been a hodgepodge all over the board.
Sure.
On what he's done. So, no matter what you want to think about what Blank has done in Atlanta with a hire, he was smart not to hire Belichick. And if somebody else does, God bless him. You know what you're getting. And he may be the greatest head coach in the post-free agency world of the NFL. But you wonder, just like all of us, has that time passed? You're not the same guy anymore. And I think a lot of that has to do with kind of feeding your own ego on how good you are. And that wasn't Bill early on with the Patriots. He trusted assistant coaches and scouts and all to tell him about players. And he's really good, because I've talked to Rick Venturi, who coached with Bill, and he's told me what he's really good at is the pro guy. He has a good assessment of what that pro guy can do. He said what he doesn't have maybe the best kind of feel about is how that college player projects to the NFL.
Fair enough. As somebody who has covered the NFL for 35 years and or so, try to, put into words or explain to our audience how ridiculous it is for Derrick Henry to average 11.3 yards per carry at 30 years old and look like he's 23 in the NFL, Mike D.
Derrick Henry has always been a heavy volume runner. And to see him doing that, because if you up close to and personal with him, he's 6'3 plus, he's 250 pounds. He was a Class A sprint champion in the state of Florida. I know they got fast guys in Florida. I don't care what classification you are. And to see him, all that pounding he took with the Titans all those years, to see what he's doing today is remarkable. It's take a good look. I've said this now, even when he was with the Titans, you're not going to see this from many people in your lifetime. A guy 30 years old running the football like he does. The last time I can remember a guy in who was 30 plus doing this, John Riggins.
Oh, I loved Riggins when I was a kid.
Redskins. Man, because he came in the same draft as Archie Manning in 1971. Look at the years he had in 83, 84. Okay, we talking about 12, 13 years after he was picked, and he's in his 30s, and he's still kind of posted that team on his back and said, just give me the ball. Now, he spent a lot of time in the hospital. He said he was in traction. I think that was Riggins' deal not to practice. Because John was one of those guys that, practice is for the unskilled. Let somebody else take that practice stuff. I don't need it.
Love it.
But I saw Riggins do it in the 80s. But the names of guys that can carry that for that period of time is few and far between in this league. That's why I think similar to Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak, Emmitt Smith's rushing mark will never be eclipsed. Emmitt had a ton of carries, and he had an offense sort of built around him, especially when Jimmy was there. But to see the way the game has evolved today, it's much more of a pitch and catch game.
Sure.
I think that record, no one's going to beat that. But to watch Derek today, you are amazed that he is 30 years old and all the hits that he's gotten. Now, he's given out a lot, and you see a lot of guys making business decisions. When he turns that corner and gets up the field, man, I've seen more defensive backs do ole moves to get out of his way than really try to get him down. They just trying to slow him down because he can flat out run you over. And with his speed, he can run past you. You're watching something special with Derrick Henry. You really are. And both in our lifetime, I'm not real sure we're going to see another one like him.
When you're an outlier and a freak in the NFL with all those athletes, I mean, I think we got to go back to like Bo Jackson, who didn't stay healthy. I mean, good Lord, Mike D. This guy, like you said, at 6'3", 250. All right. Mike Detillier on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line, brought to you by Southern Ag Credit, financing life outside the city limits. Mike D., we got a big one. Goodness gracious. This weekend with LSU doing what they needed to do, going to Arkansas and winning. Now they go to A&M, and they're both undefeated. A&M's laying 2.5. LSU's the better team by a little bit, but A&M can win this game. What are you looking for in this matchup, Mike D?
LSU continually getting better on defense. I think that's a key for them. I thought, to start the season, they were poor in the secondary. And, we've talked about it in length. And I still don't think they're very good there, but they've been able to get a pass rush. And what I see with Breeden Swinson, who has done a fantastic job as a developmental player, you could have gave me 5 names. Swinson wouldn't have been on there to start the season. He had really not accomplished a lot at Oregon or at LSU. And to watch his development here, Savion Jones has had a real strong season as the other guy on the other side. I think he's played well. But I told you this 3 weeks ago. He's being inserted in the lineup because of Harold Perkins' injury. Watch Whit Weeks. And look what he's done the last 3 weeks. He's been lights out. And for a lot of us that saw what he did a year ago and can hear the coaches talk, you wondered when he was finally going to get his shot, and it happened because of the injury. And I knew once he got that chance, he was going to tilt the field for him on defense. They have not had a defensive player like Whit Weeks since Devin White. Now, he's not the athlete Devin White is. He's a good athlete. But his instincts, his smarts, he's rarely out of position. He can rush the quarterback. He plays the run well, and he's really, really good in the coverage part of the game. He came to one of our camps. The first thing he told me, he said, hey, I really worked a lot on my coverage part of the game. Because he said, I want to play. You never thought the injury would have opened that door for Witt, and it has. So I think their play against the run, Arkansas was averaging over 200 yards a game rushing. Look what they did against LSU. Look what they did. Not much. LSU shut that down completely. And LSU's offense continues to evolve, and especially in the running game because of Caden Durham, a freshman. You know, one thing with Bryant, he's always about seniority in a lot of cases. If it's close, I'm going with the senior. And he had Josh, he had Caleb Jackson, and he went with them. And you wondered because they weren't really making a lot of hay running the ball. And then they put Caden Durham in, freshman, speedster from Duncanville, Texas. And he has been a huge impact guy for them. In the running game, also as a receiver coming out of the backfield. LSU's got receivers. They aren't as good as they were last year. How could they be? They had 2 first-round pick guys. You're not going to be as good. But, you know, with Mason Taylor at tight end, and now you got Trey'Dez Green, another impact freshman who they've moved out to wide receiver. And he played wide receiver in high school. It's just that he was going to be that flex tight end. You don't see a lot of 6'7" wide receivers. But LSU figured out, hey, well, let's put him there and see what we can do here. That game has always been a big dogfight between the two of them. And other than the 2019 season where LSU, with the exception of maybe Alabama and Auburn, a lot of those games were blowout games. This LSU A&M game has been tight between the two of them. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter where they play, if it's been in Baton Rouge or if it's been, out at A&M. So it's been interesting. I think A&M will go only as far as their quarterback takes them. Because I think defensively, they're a good team. They run to the football. They've got athletes there. Their front seven is very good. I test their secondary. That's what LSU's going to kind of go after. But they'll go as far as the quarterback takes them.
Mike, I know you knew this. For our listeners, Whit Weeks is the linebacker for LSU that's playing so well this year. His dad played at Georgia while Kirby was there. There was a little bit of overlap there.
And he told me this during the summer. His brother West is on the team. Okay. And so, but he told me he's got a younger brother. He said he's better than both of us. My thing is LSU got a scholarship ready? And he started to laugh. He said, "Oh well, you got to talk to him about where he wants to go at." But man, it's unbelievable, and he is a guy that he is pedal to the metal on every play, and to watch him. He's so instinctive, and in the game against Arkansas, they get a pass rush, the ball gets batted up in the air, and he jumps up in the air and he intercepts it. It's my thing is, why did he spend so much time watching and not playing? There was something about him you could tell that once he got his chance, that was going to be it. Nobody else was going to get in the lineup, and he's always around the football, very smart. And he knows what to do, but he's a chirper now. And he sort of lets everybody else know where they should be.
Good for him.
And so there are very few people that I can remember, and this is just a 3-game stretch for Witt, that has made that type of impact at LSU. But the last one I saw was Devin White. Devin tilted the field. Devin, though, was a different player. Devin was an unbelievable athlete. He wanted to play running back. He came to me. We went to Baton Rouge to do interviews, and he asked me to talk to Coach O about he wanted to play running back because he thought I had some influence that I could maybe put him at. Talk to Coach O about putting him at running back. No, he did play running back in high school, and he was good at it. But they needed a linebackers. and he was a great athlete. But he was a big time freelance player. He sort of, made up his own little game on where he wanted to go. When you watch Witt, it is calculated on exactly his game. He's very calculated about it, and so he's a joy to watch. I know that. If you love to watch defensive football, you watch Witt. Now I knew it. I knew he had all that in him. I didn't think he played this good, but he is an all-around linebacker, and he's a guy that is certainly been a difference maker. And he's went from a backup to a quality starter on the verge of being an all-SEC player, all in 3 weeks. And, Bo, that's one hell of a ride.
Unbelievable. I can't wait to watch this game Saturday night. LSU at A&M. Like Mike D said, they've had so many close, good games, and this one's going to be smash mouth, and I think a little bit lower scoring than some of them. But we'll see how it all shakes out. Nussmeier will be the best quarterback on the field. Wigman plays well at times, but he's been sporadic. Mike D, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bo. Appreciate it.
Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. He joined us on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Do you need a new sound system for your football field? What about for your lobby in your hospital? What about for your baseball stadium? What about in your arena or your gym? That's powered by SoundcomAV.com. Sound and communications. Also, if you need to cater for students, teachers, or your ball team, Subway at Grants Ferry. Subway at Grants Ferry will cater for your volleyball, softball, soccer, baseball team. Your next catering order for your team or the teachers or the students, powered by Subway at Grants Ferry. Brad Edwards, Bama Insider, 930.